There are a ton of photos and videos coming from that Russian Il-76 that crashed earlier today. This took place in Ivanovo region of Russia. And if you don't know the full story, here's kind of like a snapshot of it. Earlier today, there were about 15 to 16 different people on this military aircraft that took off from a Russian military base. They were doing trainings. We don't know exactly for what. The original rumor was that they were training for A-50s, in which they would put equipment on here to train those folks, because if you know, Ukraine has taken down a lot of the A-50s that Russia has had. And because of that, a lot of the experienced crew that they once had on these aircraft are now gone, which is why I've always said that for Russia to lose these A-50s, it's one thing. It's the crew on board, because even though an A-50 is worth $330 to $350 million, it's the experienced crew that Russia was using in order to operate them. And we're not talking about the pilots on here, but the folks that use the equipment on board. After this aircraft took off, clearly something had happened because so many people took out their phones and started showcasing, hey, this thing hit something, something exploded, and you can see the plane, which looks to be at like maybe 2,000 feet, fly above, and then the engine catches fire. Smoke starts coming out of it, and as the footage goes on, you can see something fall. It looks like an engine, and remember, there's 4 on here, which usually you can make this into a glider and kind of fly with it, but that's for another story. You could see that the engine falls off and the plane gets lower and lower until it crashes about a few miles outside of the airport in some kind of cemetery. Now we're finally getting photos and videos from many different sources on the Russian side showcasing the journey from pretty much it taking off to it kind of turning, to it hitting something, to the engine catching fire, then it going down, the engine coming down, and then the crash. So these are the photos and videos we are starting to see. This is the first video. You can see that the far right engine is on fire. They're trying to put it out. You can see right there, they clearly shut the engine off and used the fire system to put it out, but it's clearly still smoking. You see it kind of dips behind that building. You'll see it again in a second. It's really hard to make out anything from there, but it looks like it is kind of moving down just a little bit. This is pretty much of the same exact time frame as the other video. It's on fire. Crews will then put out the fire in a second. You'll see it's hot, hot, hot. And then boom, it is out before this also dips behind this building. Clearly they knew something was wrong prior to this because they already started filming when they heard an explosion. This must have been right after the fire was out. It's trying to go level. And in a second, you'll notice something falling from the wing once it goes behind this power line. See, it's flying, 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 and then boom, something falls off. If we zoom in and slow down, it does look like it is that engine that was on fire. But once again, if the fire was out, there's no reason why the engine would have fallen down. And then this is just seconds after it crashed into the cemetery. Moments after the plane crashed into the cemetery and into the woods, you could see that many military helicopters and other helicopters got into the sky to see what was going on, to search for survivors. Unfortunately, everyone on board was deceased. And so at this moment, it was just them waiting for fire crews to get there and to start a massive investigation into what exactly went wrong, which once again, Russian officials are stating it was a bird strike. Let me know what you think of all of this in the comment section below, and as we don't know what's going to happen with TikTok over the next week or so, all depending on what happens to U.S. Congressman, we don't know if that app and that platform is going anywhere. So I'm going to try to add more videos to this YouTube channel so that you guys can at least get some kind of backup platform, God forbid, if that platform completely goes away. All that being said, this platform is not monetized at this moment, so, you know, if we do put videos online, I need you to please subscribe and watch them. That way we can finally get into that program, as we are trying to build up everything here on YouTube as our backup. But I want to thank you for joining me. Please stay tuned, as we still do a lot of stuff on here. And if you don't know this, we mostly use this channel, or at least we did, just for shorts. So there's a lot of videos on shorts which are different than the TikTok ones, because the short ones are only 1 minute long versus the one on TikTok, so they can go up to even 10 minutes. So be sure to subscribe and hit that like button.